Have you ever wondered how great our human body really is? How our mind can do so many different things? How our brain communicates to our bodies to solve certain problems? Well, you're not the only people who wondered about this. Scientists, researchers, doctors, and so many other people wanted the solution to one question. How does our human body function? After years and years of research, they finally got the answer. And when they did, people were fascinated. And so they thought and thought and thought and thought, and then they said, what if we could mimic our humanly actions using the technology we have right now? So this is how artificial intelligence, or AI, came to be.
In 1957, Rosenblatt invented the perceptrons, a type of neural network where binary neural units are connected via adjustable weights. He was inspired by the work of neuroscience in the 1940s, which led him to create a crude replication of the neurons in the brain. He tried many different layouts and learning algorithms. Computers at the time would have been too slow to run the perceptron, so Rosenblatt built a special purpose machine with adjustable resistors controlled by little motors. This really is a physical machine. When the neural networks learned, hundreds of little motors went on and turned little knobs to make adjustments. The apparatus was able to classify different images of shapes or letters. The New York Times reported the following on the perceptron. The Navy revealed the embryo of an electronic computer that it expects will be able to walk, talk, see, write, reproduce itself, and be conscious of its existence.
In the 1950s and 60s, scientists built a few working perceptrons, as these artificial brains were called.
He's using it to explore the mysterious problem of how the brain learns.
This perceptron is being trained to recognize the difference between males and females. It is something that all of us can do easily, but few of us can explain how. To get a computer to do this would involve working out many complex rules about faces and writing a computer program. But this perceptron was simply given lots and lots of examples, including some with unusual hairstyles.
But when it comes to a beetle, the computer looks at facial features and hair outline and takes longer to learn what it's told by Dr. Taylor. Andrew Cruikshank's wig also causes a little heart-searching.
After training on lots of examples, it's given new faces it has never seen and is able to successfully distinguish male from female. It has learned.
In 1969, the book Perceptrons was published. It was a harsh critique on Rosenblatt's perceptrons. It demonstrated that the perceptrons sometimes failed even on extremely simple tasks like the XOR problem. At this time, they already knew that using multiple layers would be able to fix this problem, but there was no algorithm to train such a network at this time.
There are many assets of AI. For example, neural networks, one of the most complex assets, which shows how our brain communicates with our body. Here to explain more are some people I interviewed. question, what are neural networks and how do they function?
So these are called biological neurons. So this is basically what you want to do is you want to mimic human brain, right? If you want to mimic human brain, what is human brain is made of, right? At a very simplistic level, not getting into the complications, is made of neurons. Theoretically, there are trillions of neurons in our brain, right? So once again, what you're doing is you're looking at the neuron at a very basic level and saying, okay, what is neuron made of, right? So as you can see, in a very simplistic, once again, it is made of what? Dendrites, axon, and axon terminals, okay? So the brain functions in this way. It takes information from other neurons via dendrites. It processes somehow in the cell body and then sends out this information to the next set of neurons.
Without neural networks, what would have happened to the world?
We would not have been as developed as we are now. Right? So we can, knowing something that the use of technology is always good. So without neural networks means it's almost like without technology. How would we have lived without a cell phone? Could have still survived, but you'd be backward. You would not be as much progress as you are now in various disciplines.
Okay. How do people use neural networks in their day-to-day lives?
Yeah, so most people don't know whether they're using neural networks or not. You cannot use neural networks. You can use, as such, you can use machines that use neural networks to do the job, right? It's like electricity. You cannot use electricity, but you can use the device that is powered using electricity, right? You can use a bulb. The bulb gives you light. The TV gives you whatever the programs and entertainment and everything. So vacuum cleaner, it performs, but it's actually powered by electricity. Just like that, neural networks is used in machines which perform more smart. Like the first example that I pointed out, Roomba, right? It's actually an intelligent machine. But I don't think the Roomba uses neural network. It uses much more simpler artificial intelligence. A good example of neural networks is something called as optical character recognition. So what it does is that optical character recognition is nothing but it's a machine that's able to read handwritten text. So suppose you take a piece of paper and you write something in your own handwriting, okay? You write your name or something, and then you show it to a camera. The camera reads it and then says, okay, this is what you've written. It just understands it and then it spells it out for you. So how does it do that? So many people, if I write, you write, anyone writes, the camera is able to understand that because it knows how to identify different handwritings and then make the words out of them. So it's basically programmed to learn from different types of handwritten images and everything. So optical character recognition, it's widely used in post office. In post office, you get a lot of letters, right? And in everywhere, there'll be addresses written by people. So they just show this letter under a camera, and the camera reads the handwritten, and then it goes to the program which has a neural network in it, and then it identifies, this is the address that the person has written. Okay, this is where you need to send it.
Well, as you can see, in this documentary, we learned that humans were so fascinated with the functioning of the human body that they wanted to artificially recreate our humanly actions into technology we have right now. AI has many assets, including neural networks, one of the most complex assets, which shows how our brain communicates to our bodies. We even learned about who came up with the idea, Walter Pitts and Warren McClough. I hope you enjoyed my History Day documentary on neural networks. I also hope that you have a great day. Bye!